Good morning. I am By Sneha from MCOM. My topic is Global Depository Receipt. So, what is a depository receipt? A depository receipt is just a financial certificate that represents a foreign company's stock, which is traded in the local stock exchanges. So there are different types of depository receipt. Those are American depository receipts, global depository receipts, European depository receipts, Luxembourg depository receipts, Indian depository receipts. So the American depository receipts are traded on US stock exchanges and global depository receipts are traded in multiple countries. European depository receipts traded in European countries, Luxembourg depository receipts traded in Luxembourg, Indian depository receipts are traded in India. So we are going to talk about global depository receipts, which is traded in multiple countries. What is GDR? That is Global Depository Receipts. Global depository receipts are financial instruments that represent ownership in a foreign company, and these receipts are issued by a depository bank and traded on the major stock exchanges. So there are some key characteristics for this GDR, that is represent ownership. GDR represent a specific number of underlying shares in a foreign company, and second thing is trading flexibility. The GDRs can be traded on a major stock exchanges, providing liquidity to investors. Accessibility: GDRs allow investors to invest in foreign companies that may not be listed on their local exchange. And fourth characteristics is currency flexibility. Global depository receipts can be denominated in various currencies, reducing currency risk for investors. Benefits of the global depository receipts. First, let us see the benefits derived by the issuers who is a company. Uh, First point is access to global capital market, where the GDRs, that is the global depository receipt, will help the companies to raise capital from the international investors, which will maximize the pooling of funds. Second point is increased liquidity, whereas the GDRs are traded in the major stock exchanges where the shares are having higher liquidity options. So it will be easier for the investors to buy and sell them. Improved visibility and credibility. Listing GDRs on foreign exchanges enhances a company's visibility and credibility among international investors. Next benefit is diversified shareholder base. Whereas the global depository receipt will attract a different range of investors, which will obviously reduce the dependence on the domestic investors, and it will also provide a stable shareholder base. Next, it provides a flexibility in capital raising by allowing the companies to issue the shares in multiple markets in different currencies. Let us see the benefits of the GDRs for the investors. First point is diversification opportunities. So, the GDRs provides investors a great opportunities to diversify their portfolios by investing in the foreign companies and markets. Next point is access to foreign markets. So, the global depository receipts will provide a greater access to foreign market. So, the company can reach the markets, which not only the local markets but also the international markets. Next point is liquidity and marketability. Whereas this GDRS is traded on major stock exchanges, it has the higher liquidity value and marketability for the investors. Next, simplified investment process. GDRS will provide a simplified process in the investment of shares. Next, currency flexibility. GDRs can be denominated in various currencies, reducing currency risk for investors. Let us see what are all the limitations of the GDRs. First of all, the limitations for the issuers. First thing is listing requirements. GDRs are subject to strict listing requirements which can be time consuming and costly to comply with. Second, regulatory compliance. Issuers must comply with multiple regulatory regimes which can be complex and challenging. Increased cost. Issuing GDRs can involve significant costs including listing fees, legal fees and underwriting fees. Fourth, currency risk. GDRs can expose issuers to currency risk as the value of the underlying shares can fluctuate with exchange rates. Next limitation is voting rights. GDR holders may have limited voting rights which can affect the issuer's control over the company. Next, limitations for the investors. First one is currency risk. Investors are exposed to currency risk as the value of the GDRs can fluctuate with exchange rates. Next, lack of control. GDR holders may have limited control over the underlying company as they may not have the same voting rights as the shareholders has. Next, information risk. Investors may not have access to the same level of information about the companies as the shareholders receives the information. Next, market risk. GDRs are subject to market risk as their value can fluctuate with market conditions. Counterparty risk. Investors are exposed to counterparty risk as the depository bank may default on its obligations. What are all the information does the global depository receipt contains? First of all, it looks like a just like a stock certificate or a bond, it would likely have a formal and professional appearance. Next, bank branding. The issuing bank's logo and branding would be promptly displayed. Next, what are all the informations it have? It has the essential details like the issuer's name, number of shares represented, GDR number, that is the Global Depository Receipt number, and other relevant informations. And the GDR also contains some features for security purpose. It may called as security features such as watermarks, holograms, or unique numbering systems. So it might these securities are to prevent them from the forgery.